Hello, good morning. Today I wanted to talk about something that you might hear quite a lot if you're doing any kind of research into autism or Aspergers, and that's the word meltdown. What is a meltdown? A meltdown for someone with autism or Aspergers is when that person gets to a point where they can't cope anymore and they release their frustration or their anger or their confusion in one of two broad stroke ways. One would be the full-blown meltdown where the person is very physical, they're quite loud, they might shout or scream, throw a tantrum, for want of a better word. It's often mistaken as throwing tantrums, being a diva. The other way is to make them implode on yourself and pull yourself away from everything to the point where you could be curled up in the corner of a room with your hands over your ears, rocking backwards and forwards, trying to just drown out everything that's going on around you. Or you could just have to remove yourself from that situation like immediately and just go and just get some free space to decompress. So what causes meltdowns? Meltdowns are caused by many things, not just one thing. People with autism don't have a meltdown because of one thing, and normally that's the one thing that tips them over is the one thing people see. And then if you're not diagnosed or you don't know that person's got autism, it seems like a totally disproportionate reaction to something quite trivial or small. But what has probably happened there is that person has been building up to this meltdown, this outburst, this shutdown for many days, weeks, or even months. It's like a drip effect. It's like an analogy that I've read is like having a glass that's constantly being topped up with life's shit, for want of a better word. The things that can really bug, irritate, make angry someone with Asperger's, are quite innocuous sometimes. And I don't know if it's true for everyone else, but I don't deal with things very well. I don't process things very well. I kind of have to go away and process what's happened and try and deal with it later over the course of hours or days, sometimes weeks. Sometimes I think I've dealt with it, and in actual fact it's still bugging me, it's still going on in the subconscious. And all these little things eventually get to the point where your glass is full and this one thing just makes the water spill out the top. That's when you have your meltdown or your shutdown. And to people around you, it just seems like, wow, what the hell is that guy on? Where did that come from? Why is he making such a big deal about this tiny thing? And it's just the sum of all these little things, basically. I've had a few major meltdowns in my adulthood. Not too many. I tend more to have the shutdowns than meltdowns. The instances where I have to just go, disappear until I've had enough time to let it pass and calm down. The feeling that you're having at the time, it's just like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. It's just pushing you down. You can't take any more. All your senses are full to capacity. You can't take in any more information or data. It's like you've got to have a massive reset, or decompress, open the valve, let this all sort of go away. And I think it does stem from me personally not being able to deal with issues when they've happened or very soon after they've happened. Like normal people tend to be able to deal with things and get over things and move on from things quite quickly. I tend to ruminate over them and let them fester, and think about them for a long time after they've happened. Think about what I should have said, what I should have done, why that bugged me, and it's just, it all builds up to a tipping point, and it blows. You know, if you have a meltdown, it can be like you just go full blown mental. You just go absolutely crazy, shouting, screaming. Some people can be violent, you know, not necessarily at people, but just inanimate objects. You know, they'll throw stuff around the room, smash something up, punch the wall. There's no way of dealing with it for that person with autism or Aspergers. It's just something that builds up, happens, and they move on from it. As I said, I think I'm lucky I don't have too many. As you get older, I do believe you manage to see these things before they get to that point. Sometimes you can feel yourself getting full up and you need to do something, take yourself away, you know, have some quiet time or do something that you really enjoy doing, treat yourself to something, just have a day away from people, just take a day off work and just not do anything, just to decompress, just to make sure you don't have that full-blown meltdown. So yeah, if you're around someone that's got autism or Asperger's and you see them have a massive reaction to something that's quite small and innocuous, bear in mind that might be the accumulation of many things that have been building up over days and weeks and months, and that normally when a person's had this meltdown or this shutdown, normally it is like pressing the reset button. They are, you know, back to their normal selves, and they will carry on and function as they normally do, and it's not something that has a lasting impact. Some people can have a meltdown and not remember anything about it. So yeah, meltdowns, shutdowns, they're a big part of autistic people's life, and there's something to be aware of, and to make adjustments for and have the appropriate reaction to them when they happen. So yeah, thanks for watching again. Bye.